Okay, yeah, and eventually later, I'm expecting Rosetta to show up and we can start hashing out some stuff what we're talking about. Namely, I think when we planning, we're wanting to start up our own karaoke thing because Anthony is turned to be a little less than reliable for various reasons. Not all of them his fault. I'm tired of waiting around. We're gonna start setting up our own things. We're gonna start hashing that out. And probably once a month, early on. You know, figure out something. I like to name it something because I just hey come make a fool of yourself. Start maybe bat out some names of who we want to get. I know we want Rob. I think that's pretty good. Want to get Jesse Milestone in here in that as our talent pool. Get a little, but also just throw out some names and get a lineup here. So it's not just me, Rosetta, and Rob. Let's see. Let's go ahead and get the thing up here. I'm going to get my stuff out of the way first here. Rosetta doesn't like watching, that's crap. She's not into it. I wouldn't be surprised if they did use Unreal Engine and doing the actual movie first. So it's like for porting them over to Fortnite. Yeah, no problem. Here's the actual model. There's very few changes. I mean, try it again. That's what happens when trying to load it while I'm streaming. It takes a couple times anyway, a couple tries anyway, even with not doing anything. And lately, I'm thinking more and more. I'm really trying to write in something about with the character Raven. That just that character, the whole character concept just fascinating, especially on the current iteration. The earlier one, it's like sort of like okay, it's there, but the latest one's like okay, this looks like an interesting character to get into. And my interest in that character actually predates Indy. In fact, that was kind of what got me watching her because she would do Raven. Thought, oh, okay, well now I'll take a look. But the character concept is such. It's like, okay, daughter of a demon lord type thing. Like, having to keep this bottled up or risk destroying the entire planet type thing. It's quite a package. So, I want to get into research, the character and try and get in there. I've already got ideas of, because I got this opening scene in mind. We're sitting on the top of a building around by the gargoyle type thing, sort of brooding down. Batman outside saying, I thought this was my routine. Starting off from there. There we go. Here. Are we actually gonna get the character on the screen here? Or slowly adding pieces, parts. Okay, we're still in this thing of, nope, we don't get to see your character until you actually start playing the game. Just, we're running the new version of Calamity that came with the OG pass. I think I'm long enough for them finally come up with the OG pass. Okay, this one has some stuff I want. Let's see. Can we get a hint as to what I need to do to... I've got to knock out some levels, I guess. Okay, let's just... This is the sort of thing of why it takes forever to finally get the thing to run smoothly. This first match is always a pain in the butt. Because this thing just takes a while to finally get up to speed now on all cylinders. Come on, back. Come on. There we go. All right. So we got a glider, got a pickaxe, got a back wing, got a contrail. There she is. Let's take a run to the shop here first. So we still got these guys. Not much of a discount there so far. So let's see. We got 350. I'm inclined to, if I'm going to have to pick one of these, I'm actually inclined, I think, to get Zoe. The cheeky comic relief character, clearly. Let's see, how long are these guys in here for? Until the 16th. Which I believe is my next paycheck, so... Maybe. Okay, all right. What's going on down here? All right. A desert character thing, and there's a bunny lady. Victory vibes. Midas again. Soiree. He's kind of Let's see. Huh. Should probably have that. I said this movie sure got popularized through Fortnite. There wasn't much of anything before that. Dark Ruby. Yeah. And let's see, moving on here. I got the Fort Nightmares screens and outfit skins. Mr. Savage still hanging on here. Warriors of Pandora. Still really don't see anything worth going nuts over. Oh, Sabrina Carpenter's back. How nice. Go over the list on here. And the passes. And the stuff you got to pay money for. This is going good. Just notice there's no Marvel or DC section. So give it a break here. All right, so this is good. All right, passes on. What are we going to do next year? Well, that one or that one. Let's see. No, either one. I got to get those before I get to her. And then it's like this is the last page that hasn't anything. The rest of it's all super style crap I don't care about. I think they generally give you all of it out anyway. Okay, so and then quests. You gotta watch the enunciation. Dental problems causing problems with pronouncing things. All right. So I've done 4 tests so far, so we got to do 4 more. Which is all the 4 here. So I'm going to do this damage opponents and their destructive Zoe shield. Intense and teleporting with the mask. Under the effects of the Rainy, I think. And whacking him with a sword. Mm-hmm. Hmm. Okay. Dailies. Just do an emote. Okay, that's easy enough. Getting close there. It's 6 players away, and get that out of the way. Then it starts spending gold like it's nuts. I don't know why that's even still up here. Just go jump in here. Yes, yeah. This seems to be the one she was mainly famous for. I think they made her boobs a bit smaller. Still nobody watching live, but yeah, I'm not worried. This channel is geared towards the repeat, the rerun viewers. Alright. I might throw some OG in that, just to mix things up a bit. My finger's doing a little better. Okay. Any day now. Alright, well. Way to force Murphy's Law a bit. Start doing something else. And just when it starts getting interesting, then suddenly the game will start. Oh, Jesus. Am I? What the hell? Can I respond here, you bastard? Yeah. Yeah, that turned out well. Watch that one later. Oh, keep people watching. All right. Oh, yeah. And a bit of a squabble going on in the D-trans community between a couple of personalities. I'm not going to go into detail. There are a lot of a lot of things being slung around. And trying to inject a little humor into it. It's like reminded me all of an old parody of an old Sunday school song. Jesus loves the little children, all the children of the world. Red and yellow, black and white, put them together and let them fight. Jesus loves the little children of the world. Whereas the slightly worse version, red and yellow and green, funniest kid you've ever seen. Jesus loves the Of course not. All right, well, at least I'm able to land first. Those flaming bull skulls and everything, they should have, the Ghost Riders in the Sky as a theme. Fuck, come on. I don't feel like we're off a cliff. I don't think I've ever been over here, though. This kind of works here, running with a six-pack. All right, boys, let's party. All right. First thing is, after bringing this up, I had to dig up the old Ray Stevens song, Everything is Beautiful, because that's how they started off. The record is, little children's cry, Jesus, the little children. Don't stop it. Like that. Huh. So is that... Nah, let's go with it. The purple, I'll go and... It's probably the only serious song Ray Stevens ever did. Before that, isn't that the guy that had the Arab? And I'm not even sure the streak had come out just yet. But it's like 1970. Yeah. Damn. Because I need a sweeper shotgun. I don't need all of these things. Hold on. I don't want to mess with the teleportation things yet. That song is over 50 years old. It's 50th anniversary, about 4 years ago. Now, I remember I was a little kid. I'm not, like 70, but so I'm about 6 years old. First Baptist Church of Thornton. And we're, gathered sort of. Wasn't Sunday, it was like training, like evening, I think. Pretty sure. Could be wrong. We're kind of gather on the piano, and when I'm doing that, we'll eat. And this one gal, Marcy, who was a friend of the family, also she was there. Just starts breaking into everything beautiful. It was a big hit at the time. Okay. Bitch. Keep at this. All right. Keep it over there. I'm assuming the 3 people watching right now are probably on X right now. Hop over to the YouTube link, and like I said, hit there's the links in the description to help support the channel, and also, but even you can chat right now, and I'll see it either way. I think now's the chance for questions. Let me go ahead and get that up. So, come on, load. And it does this. Oh, let's see. Yep, 3 viewers on X, and nobody on YouTube. Let's get that on here. Come on. There we go. That's up. It's a newer feature. Keep forgetting to turn it on. Okay. No, you had very few topics are off limits. Just don't get personal. Yeah. Whoops. Yeah. But and I'll answer just about any questions as long as you're respectful. If it's an honest question, I'll give you an honest answer. If you're going to be an asshole, well, it's like, then we're going to have problems. But yeah. Come on. What's the... Okay. Well, we should probably go ahead and do this here. Oh, well, that counts. All right. Okay, so I don't know. Is the I'm not gonna bother with that. I gotta wonder if that's a response to them having the box right next to the thing. It's like I can't open it. It makes me join things. Wasn't there a headshot somewhere in there? Okay. Because for well, the box was right up next to the dang thing. Yeah, yeah, it's still enter. And they had one right here, and you couldn't just open the box. You had to either enter. Or best you could do is bust open the box, which means you're not going to get the experience points. And hopefully things would land far enough away from the stupid obelisk you can pick it up. But if it landed right next to it, nope, you're still screwed. So I gotta wonder if moving the boxes further away was a response to that. I did the Daft Punk thing. I wasn't impressed. I just want to open the fucking boxes here. Nope, we're going back to this one. See how far we can slide uphill. Not very far. Now, I found myself posting some of these old 70s songs here, but you kind of got a pretty good idea what was going on back then. We could learn a bit from these old tunes. Well, hello. Huh. Tell you what, let's do that. Hmm. Hmm. No, it's an NPC. It's for the main guy. Damn it! Give me a fucking chance, bitch! God. Hyperactive little cockroach? You know, if you're going to run the whole way, I kind of can't set the point of doing a teleport. Hmm. I'm starting to hate that hammer. Really starting to hate that hammer. This leg is not drawn right. I mean, that hip, no, you gotta go up a little bit more. All right, let's. Nope. Okay, maybe not. Should I cut? Let's hit the first order, see what kind of goodies we get there. So they don't quite render everything right away. Not too low. Of course. So let's just let them have that. Ah, jeez. Oh, come on, you fucker. Give me that. Okay, so don't need that. Let's see if I got. What about what I had in mind here? No. Not up top shit at me. Not hitting me with that fucking rifle. Hammer. Do you have 2 rifles? Oh. Well, I'm done with that shotgun anyway. That's all I need to do. Now let's go through. Did I get 2 shotgun? What, I'm getting 2 shotguns. Okay. Okay, let's go up here. This is proving to be a very popular shotgun, but I don't need a green one. I got a blue one. Where's that tower? Oh, there we are. Damn it. So close. All right. What they rebuilt over here. I thought it was more ending. They got it all back up. Ah, here we go. Come on. And someone's running around here. Here come headshots. Motherfucker.
I didn't want to damn Fortnite.
I know. I was hoping to get this done with beforehand, so.
Go.
Okay.
You know, when I say that's the stream,
I
I mean,
know.
that's the stream that I easily put on my channel and start with you.
Well, again, I wanted to get this over with, so. This is going to be a while, so.
I can't talk when you're like this. It's echoing bad.
I'm not sure what's going on here. A little closer, will that help?
Your game sucks. It's getting. I'm hearing myself echoing loudly through your game.
I
And
can't.
it's not my end. It's my headphones. It's your end and your game.
Well, let me wrap this part up. We've actually got a good game going for once.
Well, I don't care.
Sorry. It just locks up. I'm right there.
Kind of.
Come on. There we go. All right.
Part of me said sorry, and then part of me was thinking, no.
No, you're not.
I'm tired and I'm crabby.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm overrun. And I'm probably not going to be home until after the next year starts.
Ah.
Yay! Get this destroyed myself here. All right.
Okay, actually, one of those. I got to do an emote here. Oh, hello. Let's get this out of the way here. Okay.
I made the mistake of offering to help my mom.
Mm-hmm.
I told her I'd help her make recipe cards for the old family recipes and laminate them.
Oh boy.
Because we got a bunch of books that are disintegrating.
Yeah.
It didn't take long to leave a stack of books on my desk here.
Mm-hmm. Kind of left
Which
out just
are-
how many recipes we're talking here.
Just the ones in front of me so far over 2,000.
Oh, that's all? Yeah.
Just the ones she's given me so far.
Should have that done and over, Mhm.
I love it.
Yeah, just keep saying that. Keep reminding yourself of that. That's what I want. There we go. Time to go. Actually, I think it's time to. Are you at all familiar with this K-pop Demon Hunters thing?
Vaguely.
Well, that's the latest collab they got going.
I'll talk when the game's over because the echo is really loud.
Okay. It's...
You had mentioned I'm exhausted.
Yeah, you kind of get an indication.
Did I mention I was up at 5 a.m.?
Yeah, that came up.
I be just absolutely tapped physically and emotionally for the next few months. But I'm not like daughter again.
Mm-hmm.
I'm also a bitch. Take your bets on someone's going to win today. Will I be angelic or homicidal serial killer? And to the people out there watching and whining, it's a fucking joke. Just like the fact that you were born.
Only 5 other players left.
Well, you finish this stupid game. I'm gonna run out to the other room and check on mom real quick.
Okie doke.
When you're done with this, turn this stupid shit
Yeah,
off.
I'll consider it I'll consider it a successful night. Take my helicopter? I don't think so. All right. Where is everybody? Don't think I've been down here. Damn it! All right. Let's go ahead and get back to the lobby here, see what we got, if anything. Ow. Ah. We did about an hour on that anyway, so that's enough. Ooh. And how many we got watching so far? 4 people on X now, and nobody on YouTube. I mean, nobody who can click upon the links below to help support this channel and help me get a better system and get this thing, further down the road to proper monetization. Right now, I consider it barely monetized. I get like maybe $100 check a year if I'm lucky. I'm gonna get this thing growing here, get it to the point where I can actually, get a regular check, even if it's just $100 a month. It's better than nothing. That would make a big difference right now. Actually, that would actually help. That would actually make her able to afford to pay her rent on a regular basis. Oh, God. Something is in my right eye lately. It's just been driving me nuts. Let's get these guys. Yes, skip. Oh, okay. So we got some goodies to get. Ow, fuck. No, I'm back. Back. Come on. All right, both passes. So let's take care of this one first. Let's get that one out of the way. And then we got the OG pass. And, bring him up. Yes, click on that.
Don't you dare start another.
No. I'm just wrapping up here. One more. And why not? Quit that. Back on here.
I guess I speak for what days when I say fuck Fortnite.
All right. So, I mean, this is about as long as I generally write anyway on this, so we're just going to call it that. A successful run for the night. And now on to other business.
I'm a homicidal psychopath tonight.
That take care of the echo?
Yes.
Okay, then.
Told you it was your fucking game.
Don't know why I was doing it, but okay.
Because your game is evil, stupid, and sucks crack. And I don't mean the drug.
Alright.
By the way, I'm bitchy.
Yeah.
This is what... Spending 9 hours running errands and loading the car with heavy jugs of liquids, supplies for the house, a huge air purifier, and other shit. When it was 95 degrees and I was in the fucking parking lots in bright sun, makes me like... That being up at 5 a.m. this morning to do 5 million things through the mountains with my mom today.
Mm-hmm. On the bright side, you're out of Iowa.
And my mind. Here's the first few books I have to translate.
Boy.
One of which is a very old Vitamix recipe book.
Mm-hmm.
Somewhere in this house when she finds it, and I'm assuming it was hard to find at her brain. There's a giant book with all the different recipes I've came up with between her childhood to her about the age of 30. Guess what's going to have to obviously have laminated copies of them?
Oh, boy.
Now, I am having quinoa chips and fucking chocolate A&W soda.
Okay.
Don't fucking care anymore. I've earned a treat, damn it. I've been running for days in the heat. Well, except for it got really cold and rainy today while I was also running.
All
Now
right.
it's stormy, which is making it nice and sore on my legs. So there's that. I mean, I'm having a treat and fucking big chips with almost no kind of carbs in it. Wow.
All right.
But these are so good.
Okay.
They're so good. It tastes very heavily chocolate.
Yeah. Not sponsored, but opportunities are available. So, yeah. God.
I'm getting so addicted to these things. I could drink them for every soda I ever have if they didn't release a caffeinated version. I mean, if I don't have caffeine, I'm harder to deal with. It's what I use to control my ADHD.
Okay, we got 5 people watching. One of them is on YouTube. Okay, so you can click on one of the links below to help support this channel. And bring others. Okay. The other 4 people are on RNX, so
Or you could just tell Bob to screw off. I do that all the time.
Yeah, but that doesn't pay the bills.
It does for me.
Oh, God.
I mean, I'm just being honest.
So, one of the things we need to figure in the plot is doing our own karaoke thing. Since fucking Anthony can no longer be relied upon, again, for reasons not necessarily his fault. There are other factors.
Fucking Anthony. I mean,
yeah. I'm racking up, hundreds, probably in the thousands of karaoke tracks. I want to do something with them.
You mean besides annoy me?
Yeah. I mean, and there's a few that's like, no way am I singing this one, but if somebody else wants them, I have the track available.
I mean, I can sing, but I'm difficult and a pain in the ass when I do.
Yeah. Any ideas what to call this thing?
Tone deaf and bitchy.
Not sure that works for a karaoke stream.
I think it's extremely accurate for karaoke. But I guess if you're feeling sensitive, we'll do something else.
Well, it's just something a little catchy. I'm like get an idea what they're in for.
I thought that was catchy to me, but hey.
What was that again? Now,
Tone deaf and bitchy.
okay.
Let's get the diamond one out.
Let's see. Shlomo would be asleep by now, so no point bugging him.
Never quit bugging him.
Well, there's no point if he's already comatose.
Fun. Okay.
I've got to look at that calendar here. What it's looking like it's going to be anytime soon. But I don't want to have any kind of like, so we're going to do it for 3 hours. No, as long as people want to keep going, we'll keep going. But that would also indicate like not on a school night type of thing,
Maybe we just need to accept that we're insane.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to stream with us because they're scared of dealing with us.
Especially if we're singing.
Oh, you speak for yourself on the singing. I can sing damn well.
I'm just thinking, we're in that kind of mood. It's like, oh no, they're extremely happy and singing. That's dangerous.
I could be scarier than that.
Mm-hmm.
Not even trying.
Just thinking what kind of, because you don't want to do end of the month.
Let me put it to you this way. Over the next 4 months,
Uh-huh.
in the end of the month includes,
Uh-huh.
besides the holidays that fall in them often,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Lydian's birthday, my cousin's birthday, his son's birthday,
Mm-hmm.
my husband's birthday, my mom's birthday, all are in the end of the next few months.
Mm-hmm.
Let's not do end of months.
So let's figure.
Plus, sometimes end of month coincides with the peak of my hormone therapy. And you don't want me doing karaoke when I'm in the heat of that. Trust me.
We're talking Retsuko situation, huh? Out comes the death metal. What do I figure? Maybe first or second Friday of the month.
Possibly.
Yeah.
Probably helped if I changed my setting back. I tried to net a butterfly and forgot I changed my accessory I was wearing so I could do this task. So I literally just fired a laser at the butterfly.
So instead of catching, you fried it.
Well, luckily you can't really kill the critters in this game, but still, that doesn't really help.
No.
It's like I wasn't trying to shoot it. It's kind of funny, but it was unintentional, I swear.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Figure on that.
I'm a crazy bitch.
I need to go get another drink of some sort. So we got 4 viewers. Nobody's talking. Come on. Now's your chance,
Just
people.
trying to figure out what the fuck is wrong with you. Give him time. It took me years to figure out that.
Yeah. Or since most of my next could be people I've already blocked, but so they can't say anything, which is fine. Does it suck for you that I'm having a good time? Okay. All right. Back in a bit. Oh.
Hey ho, diddy ho bags. I'm happy, and you're a bitch.
Okay.
So this is where you're gonna sit and watch me at my worst when I'm a mess and exhausted and taking care of people. I'm scary when I'm like this. But it's all a part of the great tapestry of the world fucking you anal. And you feel like you have any power or control in your life, wait 5 minutes. You ever feel like you're finally making progress towards your goals and ambitions and feeling like you can actually take on the world? Wait 5 fucking minutes. If you think I'm too nihilistic, you haven't heard shit yet. Wait 5 fucking minutes. So this is my reality right now. Or maybe if I can chase away the viewers, then I don't know. I'm weird. What people want. I don't even know why he streams, to be honest. And I can tell he's as brain damaged as I am. Like cool. Coolness. Brain damage.
All right. And this thing wants a link, so there we go. She should be in shortly.
Yow.
Actually, no, let's save the barbecue for later. Do this cream and onion.
Whatever noise that was, if you make it again, I will want to. Never mind, I'll bite my tongue. I don't usually eat on streams. I've sunk to your level, which tells you how stressed and tired I am.
Well, it's just chips. No, okay. If you're in full on dinner, that's not gonna matter. We'll take on some of these Star Trek subjects I've been throwing at you.
Sure. I have no life.
Okay, so we got. Then they said a deep dive into Star Trek Enterprise really wasn't much of a deep dive. So I don't think we're going to bother with those. No, you really didn't. It's like why Bakula insisted on, fewer episodes. Down to chop them into 22. So what do we need to do 28 now? He had little kids at home. He wanted to be home for his family, and shooting stopped at 6. At least for him. he could get home and be with his family, because Quantum Leap pretty much destroyed his first marriage. Let's go ahead and.
I mean, let me put it this way.
Mm-hmm.
As a Star Trek fan, I'm less offended at what Quantum Leap did to him than what he did to Star Trek.
Well, I don't want to give him any, because by all accounts, Beck is one of the nicest guys.
I'm not saying he's not. I'm saying that his Trek stuff sucked.
Well, yeah, not like he was writing it either. But they're looking what they have in mind for a follow-up series. I mean, they're yakking it, and it's like this will have nothing to do with Kurtzman. This is pitched directly to
Hey, Raquel. Did you want to come say hi, Chica?
I can send you a link.
I have power on this channel anyways. I could send her a link without your permission.
Okay, yeah, okay. More than
and let her
merrier.
in without you doing it too.
Crazy lady.
All right.
One sec, I'll send it over to Discord.
That's a yes. I can send it on Twitter.
Well, I could send it there too, but I prefer Discord because that can suck my ass and doesn't glitches all the time in DMs.
Okay. There we are.
I told you I pretty much quit that site other than a few DMs I have to use it for.
Yeah, whichever one you can get too fast, that's you got a link. Yeah. I'm not talking to you. Not through here. Not
Bob,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
volume, you fuckwit.
Mm-hmm.
And anyone watching, if you think I'm being a bitch to Bob, you ain't seen me being a bitch, first of all. Second of all, this is friendly.
Oh yeah.
Well, what do you mean? If I was in actual bitch mode, you'd piss yourselves. Anyway,
Which is only a long drive away, straight down I-25. So.
yeah, actually, I could probably get to you in about 4 hours.
Mm-hmm.
Unlike normally, where it would take like 12 hours to, actually, probably closer to 16 hours to drive to you.
Yeah.
From where I normally am. From here, it'd be about 4.
Yeah, because there ain't shit in Wyoming that's going to stop you.
Yeah,
okay, so
actually, they're starting to crack down more because of all the traffickers.
But Sussman is really yakking about this. He's trying to build a thing because, let's see. He's at the All Access Star Trek podcast, and he's just talking about. Because
Well,
Mark
the
Ellison.
storms are getting bad because my hand's swelling.
Mm.
I heard. I gotta rub shit onto my
There we
hand
go.
so I don't commit a homicide.
Hey.
Ah!
Mm-hmm.
Please tell me I did not injure my thumb today.
There we go.
I didn't think I did anything that should hurt it, but it's really swollen.
Yeah, it can be one
And I
of
do
those.
have a tendency to run into things and not notice. I'm
Yeah.
very blind to myself sometimes.
I mean, one of
And
those. How
it
did I get
takes a
this
lot
cut?
for me to feel pain.
It's like, how did I get this cut on my hand? Yeah.
I have literally tell you there were times I walked through the house and my
Nope.
dad, you're bleeding, and I lifted up and look at that! I didn't know that. I wonder what I patched it on.
Mm.
I just walked off. But my dad's sitting there looking like. Like, what the hell is wrong with my kid, right? Of course, we're talking about some memories earlier tonight.
Mm-hmm.
And we were remembering these stupid the guy that was working for the IHS hospital who decided that even though he was part of the diagnostic team that diagnosed my asthma, he was then going to accuse me of faking an asthma attack during it in the clinic because they were out of funds.
Oh, Jesus.
and Dad's reaction to him. And let's just say I'm not going to get him in any trouble post-mortem, so I'm not going to say what he told that guy. Out loud.
I'm thinking the term thermonuclear might be an apt description. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Dad got physically removed from the hospital by security that day, which is quite a feat considering they were doing this to a guy with muscular dystrophy on canes.
Mm-hmm.
I think I was about 15 at the time when that happened. Yeah. I was telling Mom, I could probably be 90 laying on my deathbed going, remember what Dad said to him? What are those things?
Speak, Stephanie.
What?
There, and I come through. With the customary 2-second delay.
Yeah.
All right. At least it's still working. Okay. Yeah. We're talking about how, Archer's in that same kind of place that Scott Beck is in now, but, he's got 4 adult kids. So he gave Archer 4 adult kids.
By the way, check the private chat a sec.
Oh, yeah. Ooh. Yeah.
I miss Dad, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody messed with that old guy. And by the way, to everybody who's hearing how bitchy I sound tonight, look how exhausted I actually look.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you do.
And I am
Let me go.
800 miles from sex. So,
Yeah. But
put
looking
that
at
combination together, right?
Yeah. So this will not exactly be season 5 of Enterprise. There's too many years have gone by. So this would be, by all rights, after the Romulan War, early days of the Federation. Now, figure the time when Archer was Federation president. So that's why a lot of the scripting is kind of like Star Trek: The West Wing. But let's see, we got 4 adult kids. One's in the diplomatic corps. Another one's Starfleet. Another one's in Starfleet Intelligence, Federation Intelligence. Not sure what the 4th one will be doing. Probably artist in the village. All right.
It's impressive I managed to injure my thumb today. I really have no idea. But
How'd you do that?
I just said I have no idea. Do you have working ears, woman?
Oh.
I need to see if Mike Sussman has a X account, so I can put a few bugs in his ear. It's like, have Tucker show up. Trip needs to show up, whole and hearty, alive and well, and never address what was depicted in These Are the Voyages. No, out. It never happened. Riker got a bad holodeck program. It was badly written.
Oh.
Just complete the decanonization episode. That they essentially started with that bit in season 3 of Picard of the NX-01 in the Fleet Museum with the refit.
Oh boy.
Well, that sounds painfully annoying. So.
Now, the thing is, this would be a return to canon Star Trek at least. It would be getting people back in charge and know what the hell they're doing. Let me see.
You know,
Hmm.
I try really hard to be such a good girl. Now, trying and succeeding at things are two completely separate things.
Here we are.
I mean, I can try to be an angel, but
Gotcha.
Only when you want to be.
and I don't want to be right now, Steph. So you should realize that.
Of course I do. Oh, by the way, I did a little something for you.
Oh,
Bob's got it sitting on his computer, and he's gonna polish it up for me. But so,
Oh, letter to current Secretary of War regarding some medals that really need to be revoked.
sometimes revoking or removing certain things is erasing history, and sometimes it's just taking a stand that certain things should never have happened.
Yeah.
And I think we can acknowledge things were bad without erasing it.
mm,
I do think there's way too many people out there who want to erase history.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's a difference also between, are we going to say, yeah, this was wrong, we don't support that history did this. We are going to say that they did not earn these, but we're not going to try to go post-mortem persecution, shit like that, or pretend they didn't exist. You know?
Mm-hmm.
okay, so maybe I'll change the tone of the letter this time.
And that's why we haven't sent it off yet.
The tone matters, because if you're going to try to get people to hear you, you have to maintain a certain diplomatic standard.
Well, it's like anytime,
And
like with the
Go
rules of with the letter writing campaigns, we all gone through in the Star Trek world. The rules have always been said from B. Joe. It's like, don't be polite and businesslike. No one's going to want to read the rest of your letter. You start off with "Dear Butthead,"
so I shouldn't start it with, hey, cocksucking piece of shit.
Yeah, that's going to go right into the round file. Okay, right into the shirt.
You know I'm being sarcastic.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I may be a bitchy loudmouth, but I have actually had clerical and business training. I know what not to say.
Mm-hmm.
Mostly anything I would actually want to say. I mean, how you doing overall tonight, Raquel?
I'm doing good. I got a lot of sleep in and stuff, and I don't know why. I must have slept on my left hand wrong. It's a little bit sore.
Sleep?
I've
This is a
done
foreign
that.
word. Help me.
That's probably how I screwed up
What
my
is
neck.
this sleep thing you are speaking of?
Well, really,
Oh,
really
is
got
that
some
what you're
sleep.
supposed to do in the bed when you're not having sex?
Well, yeah, there's that.
Yeah, I prefer the sex. I mean,
I prefer the sleep. I need my beauty rest.
yeah, I don't think I'm beautiful anyway, so I don't really care.
That's just what your husband thinks.
True, but I could be half asleep and dead to the world and look like they crawled out of the swamp, and he'll still want to do it. So, I'm sorry, I'm terrible. I'm sorry. I say it with love. I love him dearly, the pervert. I mean,
He's also a few hundred miles away right now. So.
oh, that wouldn't stop anything except for saying this doesn't just make him come in and go, "You wanna?" Me.
Bob?
No, it cannot. Except when it's coming to the next room. Oh, now I just did. You're coming in through now.
Okay.
Okay, about to tweet this over to Mike Sussman. I found it. It's like, if I might make a small suggestion, have Trip show up, hale and hearty, with no references to a certain incident depicted in a badly written holodeck program. We've already seen the NX-01 of the museum with the secondary holotat, so you're on firm ground. So,
Oy, oy, oy.
believe me, no one is going to mourn the loss of these other voyages. Okay?
I'm just gonna sit here and bat my eyes and look all sweet and innocent.
Mm-hmm.
Notice I said look, not be.
No, nobody liked that episode. Not the people who were in it. Berman and Braga have both apologized profusely for it.
Oy, oy, oy.
So that's one episode they can bounce out of cannon. No one's going to complain.
Okay, where's the next spot I need to go to?
Oy, oy, oy.
What game are you playing?
Still Hello Kitty.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
I was doing some Fortnite,
Finish
but
stuff
wrapped that
with
up.
their new DLC.
Yeah. Speaking of cats, how are you?
He was doing Fortnite, but I hate Fortnite, and it was being loud and irritating. So
I got a decent run in beforehand. Before he ended.
decent Fortnite.
I'm still cutting out. honey.
No,
Isn't
just
that
delayed.
not fun?
Let's see. Anime Night is playing Double Dragon Gaiden Rise of the Dragons.
Hmm.
Looks pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's scroll down, scroll down, scroll down. I may have made too many of these damn wands to this location. It should not take that long to scroll to switch which one I'm wearing.
Oh.
I am a completionist, so you know how a lot of people, when you give people a lot of different vanity ways they can make a tool in their game, they'll
Mhm.
pick their favorite one and they'll make it. Yeah, that's not what I did.
Mm.
I mean, I went, oh, look, I can make these 8 different shapes of this one thing
Mhm.
with 3 different metal types as the base around it.
Mhm.
Ooh, let's see. That makes how many? Good science. Let's go,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
And most of these have every gemstone color available, plus gold, silver, bronze, and then other stuff along top of it. So it's like each one I'm making like 12 gemstone colors times 3 times, yeah.
Mhm.
So it's taking a long time to scroll down my list now. And let's be honest, that's entirely my fault for being a raging psychopathic completionist, right?
Well, it happens.
This could be interesting. So it was a couple weeks ago, I think now, at the end of this section. And I'm definitely way ahead of the curve on this section.
Mhm.
Like scary ahead of the curve. We had a lot of things I had to do with Mom today. So
Not letting me look ahead.
I've been out in the woods. Yeah, I'm tired, but sleep's not going to happen yet. So I might as well sit here and fuck around with you guys. I mean,
Mhm. Trying to get a sneak peek at all of my Batmobile thing that I'm kind of roped into.
Oh yeah, the Batmobile's in the shop.
Mm. And I got that fan home thing where you build it yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm about halfway through right now. Finally moving into the interior. We got all the extra. We got the gas tank on, and now got the trunk in.
And you're insane?
Yeah, well, it made sense when I started it, but then they jacked the rent up to a ridiculous degree. So,
Yeah, now it's costing me thousands of dollars. Thank you very much.
Steffi,
What?
breathe.
Hmm.
I'm supposed to be the one bitching here. I mean,
Let's clear that.
Yeah.
you're
And
going to
don't
usurp
forget
my
to take your
position.
trash out tomorrow.
Usurper! Usurper!
Yeah.
No,
Now,
I noticed something the other day when I was shopping that kind of annoyed me. And I'll start with the story as to why I
What?
discovered it and then what it was. So I've had issues with heel spurs off and on for a long time. And I've got a really bad one right now in the arch of my foot, pinching the nerves.
Oh.
And I was running errands out on the hot concrete with my mother. So we went over to Sam's Club to get some stuff, and I saw that they had this display of what they called comfort slippers. Slippers, right? So I pick up the women's one and I feel it, and your hand slides in and it's like silky, and you're sinking into the memory foam on it, everything, right? Yeah, that'd be good on these oak floors, right? Then I pick up the men's ones because I tend to prefer the colors and the shape of them. And you put your hand in the men's ones, and these are supposed to be the same company and the same thing just for men and women. And you put your hand in the men's one, and it's itchy and thin. It's like, no, wait a sec. Don't men deserve comfortable feet?
I don't think they really give a crap about quality, as long as it's like fine.
What I don't understand is why, if that was the reason why did they put so much quality into the women's ones, you know?
Yeah, that
Like,
is
I can
kind of
understand the short cutting. I can understand that stuff because a lot of companies do. I just don't understand the complete imbalance. That's not fair to guys.
No, it's not.
True.
Because I guarantee you, Bob would love the soft, cushy feet, wouldn't he?
Yeah, I think he would.
This is my current footwear right now. Okay.
Footwear made
Footwear
by
with basically
infirmities.
nothing, cheap, with fluffy, woolly energy, and it's got a good stout, rubber sole on it. So that, yeah, these are now my shoes.
Ugh. Just as long as you don't wear them out all the time.
Well, I wear into Walmart, but I'm using the cart for most of that, so I'm not really walking much. But still.
So I've been limping pretty substantially for a couple days. And when I'm as active as I am right now, and I'm limping on these feet with these massive spurs, they are making me psychotic.
Okay, here's something we can yak about here.
Now, do you guys think I'm capable of being very psycho?
When are you not?
Steph, careful with the hypocrisy pot.
Oh, kiss my
Here's
butt.
something we've discussed a time or two. Just how big a role did Lucille Ball play in Star Trek?
And as we both said, that she was open, that she did like it, that she supported doing it because of certain things, but she was not this like obsessive supporter that they made her out to be.
No, the closest you got is the fact that they're trying to have the rap party next door. They're still trying to get the final scene on the Delta Vegas, and she comes in, sparkly cocktail dress, and what's the holdup? Well, we're trying to get this thing, and anything I can do to help? Well, I'll tell you what, if you can sweep ahead of the camera dolly, because it kept clogging up the tracks. And
yes,
like the trooper, she grabbed the broom, she swept the thing. We have the shop. Boom, okay, good. Next door,
she was a part of the company that decided to give them the chance. She was part of the ultimate decision to greenlight it. She did support it. That's not disputable.
Mm-hmm.
It's the fiction everybody adds to it. We've gone through this. It's the same as the whole first generational stuff and everything else. It's like the hyperbolized and fictionalized Star Trek to this weird obsessive level that it never really was.
Ugh.
So they could try to claim this perfect fandom that never existed when you got a show that was written literally by a womanizing jackass who wanted to action women.
Yeah.
And had an affair with practically every woman on set while he's marrying someone else, and then married one of his affair partners.
Mm-hmm. Well, let's
and
focus
plagiarized
on
shamelessly. And again, I'm saying this as a Roddenberry fan. This is not me bashing him. This is me understanding he was a flawed fucking man.
Was also Roddenberry is not really that out of character from other producers at the time or even now. So let's focus on this here. Best known as the wacky physical comedian.
I was going to add one comment to what you just said. Do you remember that Mel Brooks literally said that he based the movie The Producer off one of his ex-bosses?
Oh yeah, probably a couple of them.
Actually said specifically one who seemed to always have old women around him with checks made out to cash.
Oh,
that's a weird came for a show, can't you?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Best known as the wacky physical comedian who starred in 4 successive series, Lucille Ball was also a Hollywood powerhouse and the force behind Desilu Studios, where everything from The Andy Griffith Show to I Spy were filmed and where Star Trek was born. But just how much did Lucy have to do with launching the Starship Enterprise into the final frontier? This topic arrived us by way of an August 6, 2020 tweet that has been widely shared, including attracting the attention of both William Shatner and George Takei's Twitter accounts. This thing from this guy. Happy birthday, Lucille Ball, who saved Star Trek by vetoing the Desilu Studios Board of Directors' unanimous decision to cancel the show after the second pilot episode due to its high production costs. There's problems in that statement. We'll get to them. Great story and wonderful clickbait, but as we always like to ask, is it true? First things first, Star Trek as we know it would not exist without Lucille Ball. On November 9th, 1962, she purchased Desi Arnaz's stock interest in Desilu Productions, and with 52% of the company's stock, became the majority owner of the studio. With her ex-husband's departure, Ball also became the company's president. She was still in that position when Gene Roddenberry made a deal to develop pilots for Desilu in the spring of '64, including a science fiction format he called Star Trek. And this is an article from Screen Rant. Original Star Trek made by Lucy. Yeah. Let's see. The sci-fi series Star Trek was an unlikely connection to other beloved retro TV show I Love Lucy. Star Trek first premiered in '66, years after I Love Lucy had aired its final episode. Regardless, the two share a common origin. Yada yada yada. Okay. To get a sense of just how many different versions of these events have been told over the years, all you have to do is search online for articles about how Lucille Ball saved Star Trek. Many of these accounts portray Lucy as heroically swooping in to save one of the two pilots or the series itself from antagonists, ranging from Desilu's own board of directors to the NBC television network. You might even have read that she used her clout on NBC or opened her own wallet to finance a pilot. Every one of these accounts we've seen manages to mangle some or all of the facts. Let's examine the most prevalent claims one by one. Did Lucille Ball personally intervene with NBC to get them on order a second pilot? Spoiler alert, no. According to Bernie Weitzman, quoted in Desilu, the story of Lucille Ball and Desi Arnaz in 1993, Lucille Ball did personally intervene with the television network to ensure that one of her pilots would be picked up. However, the network in question was CBS and the pilot was Mannix. Yeah, Lucy went to we went to Lucy and said, "Look, this show is very important to the company's future. We want you to call up CBS, tell them you feel we have a terrific program, and we want you to buy our shows." And, he said, "I can't do that. I've never done that before." And we said, "But Lucy, our whole future may depend on this. CBS will listen to you." She didn't really believe it. She picked up the phone, called CBS, and said, "This show is a good show. I'm calling you because I hear this show may not go on the air, and I want you to know that I'm supporting the show 100%, and I would be personally unhappy if CBS passed on the show." 9 years it was on the air. So, note that according to Weissman, Lucille Ball had never called a network to ensure a digital pilot was picked up before Mannix, which was developed well after Star Trek. Now, I remember Mannix. My dad had a bit of a crush on his secretary, Peggy.
Oy vey.
However, we found another source that disputes that claim. According to the book Complete Mission Impossible Dossier by Patrick J. White, Ball exerted pressure on CBS the season before Mannix was to ensure that Mission Impossible made it to the airways, too. Carrie Morton, Ball's second husband, told White that when word came down that the network had decided not to buy Mission, Lucy called up CBS chairman William Paley and told them it's the best pilot of the season. Other sources told White that Lucy threatened to walk away from the Lucy show if CBS didn't pick up Mission Impossible. Whatever the circumstances behind the scenes, the network picked up Mission Impossible and it ran for 7 seasons, 7 years. If Ball personally intervened to save both Mission and Mannix, what about Star Trek? According to the book Inside Star Trek: A Real Story, Herb Solow and Bob Justman, Lucille Ball was not involved with NBC's decision to order a second pilot other than after NBC rejected the first attempt. In the book, Solow recounts an early 65 meeting with several NBC executives after they had rejected the first pilot. Like, there's a phone conversation he had with Mort Warner. Well, I was saying, Mort, Grant Tinker, Jerry Stanley. We're still taken by what we'd accomplished, and Mort had a complaint. You guys gave us a problem. Sorry, Mort, we tried our best. No, that's the problem. I didn't think Desley was capable of making Star Trek, so when we looked over the pilot stories you gave us, we chose the most complicated and most difficult of the bunch. We recognize now it wasn't necessarily a story that properly showcased Star Trek series potential, so the reason the pilot didn't sell was my fault, not yours. You guys did your job too well, and I screwed up. I shook my head. No. This wasn't a network executive talking to me. This was good. This is the good witch of the East come to play Goldberg. I conjured up all my good thoughts, so let's do a second pilot. That's exactly why we're here. We agree on some mutual story and script approval, and then if the scripts are good, we'll give you money for a second pilot, for another pilot. So why might Lucille Ball have been less involved with NBC over Star Trek than she reportedly had been with CBS over Mannix and Mission Impossible? For one thing, Lucille Ball had a certain amount of leverage with CBS that she did not have with NBC. CBS passed on Star Trek after a notorious pitch by Roddenberry and Oscar Katz, but that's a topic another time. That's the stuff of legend. Nobody really disputes that one. Ball had a long history with CBS, going at least as far back as their starring role on the CBS radio comedy My Favorite Husband in 1948, and of course I Love Lucy, started in 1951. By 1965, CBS had been home to 12 Desilu-produced shows, many of them hits, and Lucy was still on one of the network's top stars. While it may not have had the impact and longevity of I Love Lucy, the Lucy Show, was in the Nielsen top 10 every year it was on the air. CBS wanted to stay in the Lucy business for as long as her popularity continued. To do that, the network made a number of concessions to Desilu, including, by the mid-'60s, a generous pilot development fund of $600,000 per year. That fund largely paid for the expensive Mission Impossible and Mannix pilots, but it didn't cover any of the costs for Star Trek. When it came to NBC, however, the network had long been a tough nut for Desilu to crack. Indeed, when Star Trek made its U.S. debut on September 8, 1966, it was only the second show in Desilu history to air on NBC. A Desilu-produced game show called Don't You Don't Say ran on the network from 1963 to 1969. This all suggests that Lucy could be very involved with Desilu's shows, especially if they were on CBS. But if there's any evidence that Lucy pushed NBC to approve her finance Star Trek second pilot, we haven't seen it.
Well, again, this is what I said before.
Mm-hmm.
You can't discredit that she was a part of the team that pushed it, all this stuff. But they're adding stuff that there's no evidence of, purely for hyperbole to create this like fanfic storyline.
Yeah.
And the truth is, it doesn't need to be edited because she still has a credit in helping get it produced, even if you don't add all this shit.
She's the president of the company, of the studio.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not needed. I don't understand why they have to add stuff.
Yeah. Let's see. All right. Did Lucille Ball support Star Trek because she was personally invested in Gene's vision? We've struggled to find any information about Lucille Ball's opinion of Star Trek. If she ever discussed the series in an interview, either during the making of the series or afterwards, we haven't seen it. One piece of correspondence from Ball survives in the Star Trek papers at UCLA. A note sent to Gene Roddenberry, Herb Zoll, and others involved with the series, congratulating them for the show's early and short-lived rating success, sent on October 5th, 1966, a few weeks after the series first aired. Dear Gene, the rest of your hardworking people just heard the good news and want you to know how proud and happy I am. Looks like you really have a hit on your hands, and we all appreciate your efforts. Love, Lucy. That's it.
Which, again, doesn't mean she didn't support it. It just doesn't mean she was, like, obsessed with it like they're trying to make her out to be.
It was important to Desilu because this just showed they could do more than just, sitcoms and game shows. Which is kind of what they were down to at the point when Star Trek and Mission Impossible came along. This is also the only piece of correspondence from Balls that's quoted in David Exam's authorized biography of Gene Roddenberry from 1994, and the only one shared by Roddenberry Entertainment as part of their Roddenberry 366 initiative from 2016. We suspect that the currently private Roddenberry archives don't have any other substantial correspondence from the Desilu president, although we'd love to be proven wrong on that front. Gary Morton, who in addition to being Ball's second husband, became Desilu's vice president in charge of live television production in 1966, describes how he and Lucy would read many scripts under pilot consideration in the Sanders Gilbert Desilu book, but says that Star Trek was never a script brought to us. Herb Solo claims that the Star Trek script was brought to Lucille Ball, but says she had no comments and speculates that she never even read it. Like the quote in the book here, I personally walked the Star Trek pilot script into Lucy's dressing room and handed it to her. Lucy, this is the Star Trek pilot script. There'll be lots of changes, so if you have any comments, let me have them because there'll be ample time to implement them. Lucy never mentioned the script, and the day the completed pilot was screened for NBC on West Coast, I walked in Lucy's dressing room to tell her NBC's reaction. The pilot script was still there, apparently untouched. In short, we haven't seen any evidence that Ball had an opinion on Star Trek beyond hoping for a long and successful run. It's possible she never even read the script before the pilot was made. Unless further evidence emerges, this claim seems to be completely unfounded.
I kind of find the whole untouched thing sus because you don't know how people read. Just because it looked pristine doesn't mean it was untouched.
Well, not to, it's just like you put it right on the corner of the table, it's still on the same corner of the table.
That doesn't mean anything with a lot of people. That's why I said that one, that's hyperbole. They don't know that for sure. And while they can theorize it, again rubs me the wrong way, just like the other hyperbole.
Yeah, but I'm saying it's weeks later and it's still in the same exact spot.
I've done that so many times, and I know a lot of people put them all back right where people brought them to us.
All right.
So it's like that again.
Yeah.
It's a nitpick, but if we're nitpicking the hyperbole and the over dramatics on one side, we've got to be fair on both.
Well, go with Occam's razor. Simple answers. You didn't look at it. Oh, who we got? Again. Okay. All right. Did Lucille Ball personally finance either Star Trek pilot? Both Star Trek pilots were partially financed by NBC, but the network did not cover 100% of those costs. So how much was the balance and who paid it? According to the financial records in the Star Trek papers at UCLA, NBC paid $185,000 for the first Star Trek pilot, which was initially budgeted at $323,281. The figure increased to $451,503 a few days before filming began. Despite that increase, the first pilot went significantly over budget, costing $615,751. That left Desilu on the hook for almost $500,000. $430,000. The second pilot cost $354,000 to produce, and NBC paid for $209,000, or about 59% of the total cost. However,
it wasn't a full bankroll, but they did pay a significant portion.
Well, that's a studio, though. Now, let's see. However, there's simply no evidence that Lucille Ball spent her personal fortune financing either
No,
pilot.
and that again, hyperbole versus reality.
Yeah,
Did
that's not
her
how the business
studio
works.
help fund it? Did money that she made help fund it? Yes.
Mhm.
Did she personally go to her bank and go, "I love you. Here's all the money you need"?
No.
No. And again, almost every single one of these issues, the truth is actually in the middle. It's not hard to see where it is.
Mhm. Let's see. Desilu's annual and interim financial reporting from this period, publicly accessible at the Margaret Herrick Library in Beverly Hills, indicate that the studio absorbed the extra costs of these and other pilots. The studio produced about a total of 5 pilots during the 64-65 fiscal year and wrote off the cost for the pilots that the network turned down. Did Star Trek expense force Desilu to sell Desilu? No. This is one of the major claims made by Arthur Mark Cushman in his self-published, These Are the Voyages books, which he reiterated in an interview with Mark Altman and Edward Gross. There's a lot of stuff in those books, but not everything's right. Okay, Lucy's endings were right about Star Trek, that it would become one of the biggest shows in syndication ever. The problem was that her pockets weren't deep enough. They were losing $15,000 an episode, which would be like $500,000 per episode today. She could have hung on just 6 months longer. It would have worked out, because by the end of the second season, once they had enough episodes, Star Trek was playing in, I believe, 60 different countries around the world. And all that money was flowing in. It's just that she couldn't last those extra 6 months. Yeah, no. Cushman speaks to Lucy's instincts, but cites no evidence as to how he knows what she thought about the potential longevity of Star Trek. Without that, it's pure speculation on his part. Furthermore, he overstates what those $1960 would equal in modern times by a factor of 5. When it comes to the claim that Star Trek was losing $15,000 an episode when Lucille Ball sold Desilu to Gulf Western, that figure is actually too low. According to financial analysis done by Paramount in '68, excluding pilot costs, Star Trek had been losing an average of $28,354 per episode before the Desilu acquisition. During the same period, and also excluding pilot costs, Mission Impossible had been losing an average of $26,000 per episode, while Mannix lost an impressive average of $32,000 per episode. However, focusing on these losses overlooks the fact that deficit financing was the standard practice for television production going back to the early 50s, and that Star Trek, Mission Impossible, and Mannix were planned and budgeted to be deficit financed from the get-go. As to how deep Desilu's pockets were, according to the company's financial reporting and its shareholders, from 54 to 67, we do not have access to either financial reporting, early financial reporting. Desilu reported a loss in the net revenue only once in 63, a loss of $655,000. In 67, the same year Lucille Ball decided to sell the studio, Desilu reported net revenues of $1,206,000, the most net revenue the company had reported to shareholders in a decade. So it was making money. It was rolling in the.
Now, here's the question I have for this whole situation: is why? I've never understood fans that claim to love something but will make up lies about it constantly. Stretch the truth. Try to make it things it isn't.
Yeah,
that's where I'm like, I don't get it.
It was like 67 was actually, it was, Desilu's most profitable year. So it wasn't money. It was Lucy was burned out of running a studio, was what it was. So did Lucille Ball overrule her entire board of directors to produce either Star Trek pilot and or the weekly series itself? By far, the most common anecdote about Lucille Ball and Star Trek is that Desilu's board was unanimous in its vote to cancel the project, and Lucy overruled them, and ordered Star Trek to continue. Exactly when this vote took place varies widely, depending on the account. Sometimes it's before the first pilot was filmed. Sometimes it's before the second pilot was filmed. Sometimes it's after the network made a series commitment, and sometimes it falls in the midst of the show's network run. We suspect that part of the reaction, or the reason of the timing of the meeting is so fungible, is that it derived from 2 separate first-hand accounts, one from Ed Hawley and one from Herb Solo, and those 2 accounts do not agree when the meeting took place. The first Ed Hawley's Lucy demonstrated particular courage in clinching the Mission Impossible deal with CBS. One of the biggest decisions that had to be made was when she went against my recommendations and Argyle Nelson's recommendation that had to do with Star Trek and Mission Impossible. According to our estimates, we would lose $65,000 per episode on each series. We didn't have the financial strength to afford that type of show. And we recommended Lucy and the board that we do not do the pilots, much less the series. I told Lucy if we do these and are unfortunate enough to sell them to series, we're going to have to sell the company or go bankrupt. Lucy deliberated for a bit and then made the decision she wanted to do them. If it weren't for Lucy, there would be no Star Trek today. Holly described this board meeting as taking place when both Mission Impossible and Star Trek pilots were still being prepared prior to shooting. However, that's impossible. Star Trek's first pilot was filmed November 27th to December 18th, 1964. Mission Impossible pilot did not go before the cameras until December 65, full year later, and wasn't being developed until Star Trek's first pilot was completed. It's possible that Holly, who died in 2010, was recalling a board meeting that happened in the early summer of 65 when the second Star Trek pilot was being prepared for the filming. It shot July 19th to 29th, 65, and the mission pilot was in early development. But it's hard to believe that a reasonable financial estimate could have been made about the potential losses of Mission at that point, since the first draft script would not be delivered until October 65. Second version by Hope Solo describes a similar board meeting, but that states it took place after NBC made the series commitment to Star Trek, which would place it in late February 65. I'm getting you're not reacting to what I'm reading to, are you? All right, well, could you... Yeah,
Does
we've
she
done that
understand
over
how
and over again. Yes,
inappropriate it is
so
to
could
react
you
to
kind of,
something else while we do this?
What?
Does she understand how inappropriate it is to be reacting to something else while we do this?
Yeah, your reactions are kind of making a very weird reaction to reading this here. I'm talking accounting and go, oh my God, it's just, you know. I know, so just stifle. Okay.
Stifle, Archie. Stifle, stifle, stifle.
I did love when she went off screaming that in his ears.
Oh, jeez. Okay. All right. I had the series ordered from NBC. I had the diehard group of professionals to make the series. I had a lot of sleepless nights. Now all I needed was the financial support of the studio elders at the very conservative Desilu loyalists. This would all start and end with America's favorite redhead, Lucille Ball herself. The old guard made the position quite clear. It wasn't a difficult position for them to take, considering the high cost of both pilots. And their position was, simply put, don't let Solo and the rest of the crazies loose. Things are good. Things could get worse. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Don't give the inmates the keys to the asylum. Before the board meeting, I'd laid out to the owner, Desilu, you will always have a show, Lucy, with the same actors, the same staff, the same people to write and direct. Everyone will be happy. The studio will keep renting space to other shows, so fame isn't a problem and money isn't a problem. But wouldn't you like to rebuild Desilu's prestige, importance, and value as a major player? Wouldn't it be great to have two exciting and successful Desilu television shows on the air? Say yes, Lucy, and we'll go to work. Lucy nodded, and we all went to work, and the inmates had the keys to the asylum. Our suspicion that Ed Holly's memory of the meeting timing was wrong, and that it took place later after CBS and NBC made serious commitments to Mission Impossible and Star Trek, but before those commitments had been announced in the trades. Of note, neither Solo nor Holly described a unanimous vote on behalf of the board to kill Star Trek and Mission Impossible before Lucy weighed in. Holly says that he and Argyle Nelson advised against proceeding with either series. Solo says that the old guard advised against the same, but there were 6 members of the board at the time of this meeting, in addition to Lucille Ball, Oscar Katz, Ed Holly, Ed Arthur Manila, W. Argyle Nelson. Of the names on the list, we know at least only one who supported Star Trek and Mission Impossible, Oscar Katz, then Herm Solo's boss. Katz was at Desilu from April 64 to March 65, 2 pilot seasons. It was Katz's job to get more Desilu-produced shows on the network airways. When he was hired away from CBS to work at Desilu, the notice in the Variety made the clear, stating, Desilu Productions was once an important furnisher of primetime programming, but today the Lucille Ball plant has only one series left, the half-hour show starring the boss, the Lucy Show. Desilu has brought in Oscar Katz as production VP, and he is now aligning creative talent in an attempt to restore Desilu to the place it once held on network. And here's the masthead here. Okay, so where's the truth? Memes and various self-appointed Trek experts assert that Ball was some sort of guardian angel, saving the show from short-sighted penny pinchers, but that doesn't seem to be the case. Yes, as the majority shareholder on the board, she had the power to kill any project, including Star Trek. That she didn't isn't quite the same thing as actively going to bat for the show against ABC. The rest of the board, and whatever newly imagined obstacle is posited for her to knock down. Her absolute contention was that Desilu needed to make pilots like Star Trek and Mission Impossible to prove its capabilities to the networks who might have considered them an also-ran production company. Where the rubber reality met the road was when NBC and CBS picked up such costly series. A pilot could be expensive, but it was a one-time cost. The real concern was that the studio could afford to deficit finance such shows week after week. And apparently Lucy thought so, but it appears that she wasn't alone, and the numbers prove that decision sound. Either way, while she might not have swooped in and saved the day, Ball clearly had a significant say in what happened to Star Trek, and we'll always love Lucy for that.
Which is the point I made.
Yeah.
Because I've seen people take this list and say, no, she never did anything for the show, and she was against it and stuff. And I've seen people say she like the hero of everything. It's like, no. To both. She did care about it because it was something she A, did like, and B, it did make her money at some points and get her attention.
It was a bit of a prestige project for Desilu because hey, we can do more than the Lucy show.
And they deserved that chance. They did. Mm-hmm. So yeah. Truth is rarely one side or the other. And I will give that author credit for not jumping on the anti-Lucy bandwagon for that, because a lot of people do.
Let's see what this one's about here. And the line from Manish at Liberty Valance. This is the West, sir. When the legend becomes fact, print the legend. Again, the site is facttrek.com. And it's very useful. They got a lot of stuff here. It's in the decades since Star Trek was conceived, its fans and its makers have told many tales of its inception, its casting, its making, its struggle to stay on the air, its rabid fan base, its life after death, its legacy, and its place in the broader landscape of TV history. Many such stories have been told and retold so often that they have taken on a veneer of fact and rarely, if ever, been challenged. But these stories are not always true. Many are misremembrances.
Misremembrances.
Yeah. Years and decades after the fact. Others began as anecdotal acorns and grew into mighty oaks of mythology. Some have been and ever shall be self-serving. Others are calculated to sell you something. Yet others are often after the fact reconstructions that connect the wrong dots and produce a distorted picture. As a result, a lot of Star Trek history is a mess. Eventually, there needed to be some kind of corrective. This is our humble attempt at it. But going through some of the things there, we think the actual story of the show production is very human and flawed makers, and its true accomplishments deserve the spotlight far more than the tasty, self-aggrandizing mythology that's grown up around it. We have several projects in the works under the Fact Trek umbrella. The bigger ones take a lot of research and vetting to pull together, but in all this research, we find wonderful little nuggets that we think are worth sharing, and so we're initially launching Fact Trek and Twitter feed of such morsels. Taste some things we'll Let's see, some fiction. Star Trek wasn't a secret rating success. It wasn't the first American TV drama to use hell as expletive. It didn't feature first interracial kiss on TV. It wasn't rejected by CBS in favor of Lost in Space. It never won an Emmy in any category. Its second pilot wasn't unprecedented. Friday night at 10 p.m. wasn't an automatic death slot. Gene Coon didn't invent the Prime Directive, nor did Dorothy Fontana invent Corgazine. They merely renamed them. Let's see some facts. Conversely, there are some things about Star Trek that no one seems to know. It won a Photoplay Award. Sam Peebles pitched a story that was accidental plagiarism. Roddenberry suggested bringing back Yeoman Rand. John Meredith Lucas stopped the process of writing story memos, thus impeding the historical record. Many asides in the memos of men in the production office made Mad Men look like a documentary. How do we know? Citation, citation, citation. As the making of Star Trek red shifts into the distance, we increasingly lose visibility into the world and medium it inhabited. To truly judge the show's merits and failings and the difference between innovation and popularization, you have to have context and some understanding of the world that bore it and the shows that neighbored it. Towards the end, we've accessed a lot of primary sources, most notably extensively studying the Gene Roddenberry Star Trek papers, contemporary newspapers, trades, etc. We've poured through the thousands of pages of documents, cataloged and cross-indexed them, and tried to piece together the complicated puzzle of what was really going on with the show. Our aim is to provide verifiable, factual information where we can point directly to reliable sources. Very few others have attempted something like this, but to do it properly is hard work. Correlation does not equal causation, so you have to be constantly on guard to divine the truth as opposed to only seeing what you want to see. So that's the intro to the whole thing. And I did, hopefully I put them, because I did have a little chat with them on next one time regarding Nichelle Nichols and this legendary meeting with Martin Luther King. And I put together, it's like, this is what I had heard. It's like, about how apparently back in the 70s, it's like, good luck finding the video on this, but she, at that point, she described the meeting with Martin Luther King as hypothetical. It was kind of like, what would Martin Luther King say? Because she was planning on leaving the series and going back to her, to her stage career. But she, she was involved in the civil rights movement, what she could. And kind of like, wait a minute, let's think about this. Because, again, you're leaving a steady paycheck for the stage. And eventually, it's part of the thing of, when they go into conventions and telling stories. This is where I think the Martin Luther King thing grew from, hypothetical.
I've also never actually seen actual footage of her saying that it absolutely happened. She speaks of it even when she's acting more like it did, hyperbole,
Well, the story kept changing too.
Well, if you're fantasizing and daydreaming, you often change it to suit your narrative.
Yeah, earlier accounts. See, because one thing that Nichelle she was a very good mimic. She could do impressions of herself. So first off, she's saying it, and you can hear Martin King saying some of this stuff. You cannot. So she had a good ear of what people would sound like. But again, it's like it was never. It kept changing as the years went on, got more and more elaborate. But also, I tried to do some digging. I could not find any record of an NAACP fundraiser thing going. And they document stuff they did through the years. I saw nothing about any NAACP meetings or fundraiser things in '67 in LA or anywhere really. Certainly
really
nothing
easy to get lost.
Certainly nothing that Martin Luther King was going to be at.
Bob. It's a joint stream. Every time I try to speak, you just talk over me.
All right, go on.
And that part's already gone, but you got to slow down and actually let me get a word in edgewise.
All right. Well, what are we going to throw in?
I just said that part I was trying to say is already gone because I tried to say it like 6 times, and every time I got a few words out, you went over me again.
All right.
I know you get passionate, but you do. That's when you get passionate.
Mm-hmm.
You crack me up sometimes.
Yeah. Well, but I have.
It's terrible to say that way.
But I had a chat with them, with the Trek chief, the fact these guys on X, that but also whenever the kids have been asked about it, because supposedly he said, we watch Star Trek. The kids, we never watched Star Trek. I don't know what she's talking about here. My dad was not watching Star Trek, and we certainly weren't. So, And I said, and the kids are still alive. You know, go ask them. Okay, you know. So I think they were about ready to do something on Michelle Nichols and Martin Luther King, but it's like, you might want to investigate this one a bit, okay? That's why the most you get is like, let's see. Let's back it up a little more here. 'Cause I think there is one up here, but it's mostly recounting the article she was at, was when she was in Ebony.
Fair.
Well, this one attached the thing about, you know, oh, they were so offended by the episode. They never aired that episode of the night. No, they did air it, and they had the repeat. Okay. Because one thing that you gotta be consistent. The Pentagon threatened to pull support if they aired the episode. If they didn't air the episode, they wouldn't have pulled support, but they did pull support. So. Means guess what? It aired. Yeah. And it's towards the end of the first season anyway, so you know, in February, so it's end of that first run.
Yeah.
And even Roddenberry knew me. So yeah, we ran an episode. They didn't like it. You know.
Roddenberry didn't always flourish with everything he did, to put it nicely. Yeah, he had some great successes, but he also had a lot of things where people just looked at him like, do you think you're an idiot?
Yeah.
And that's okay. I don't know why so often when it comes to the entertainment industry, you don't get the real stories of these people. You get like some idealistic story that just kind of destroys any thing of any meaning.
Yeah.
Because part of what makes it amazing that these people made a difference, that these people did what they did, is the fact that it's just a bunch of very flawed people with flawed lives going, can we do something positive? That's a pretty simple thing.
The resistance about having black people. No, the NBC was all for that. Okay, this is the '60s. They wanted to be, you know, good progressive liberal types. You know, so they were all for bringing in blacks. You know? And it wasn't like Star Trek was unique in that either. The Dick Van Dyke Show had a thing where there was one story in particular that comes to mind where they little baby, you know. What was the kid's name on Dick Van Dyke Show?
some reason not coming to me right now.
Oh. I hear you. But they just, you know, Laura just had the baby, so you know, they're and Jerry next door's got Rob convinced you got the wrong baby. They switched him at the hospital.
Boy.
And so they call what they think of the parents who might have their baby.
Mm-hmm.
And the climax is, you know, okay, they're here. Okay, so and they open the door, and Greg Morris walks in. Those who might not remember, Greg Morris, the black guy on Mission Impossible, Bernie, a tech genius. Well, apparently was actually a big klutz, but he's coming in laughing his ass off. So obviously they don't have the wrong.
I was going to say a tech genius being a big klutz is basically parting the course.
Yeah. As well, you know, Mr. Fumblefingers. You know, this is not the guy who went defusing a bomb, you know, or wiring one. But that was the big gag. It's like, yeah, you think you got a black? No. But let's see, August 67 brought the first NAACP Image Awards, and shows so honored were The Big Valley, Mission Impossible, Hogan's Heroes, Daktari, and Star Trek. All presented awards for their outstanding contributions to the furtherance of the image of the Negro by featuring Negroes in continuing and recurring roles. And no, Negro is not a bad word.
No, it just literally means black in Spanish.
Yeah.
Now, when they change the enunciation some and make other
Yeah.
words out of it, those are by definition slurs. The same way Indian is not a bad word, but guess what? The word that they're singing in Peter Pan is.
Uh-huh.
Or how many people really remember that part?
Mm-hmm. But there's all the black guys that showed up on Star Trek.
I was going to say, because it's really interesting. They are erasing so much of anything that ever used anti-black slurs, but it's not hard to get that version of Peter Pan. In fact, you can actually still watch it even on Disney Plus.
Mm-hmm.
And they literally run around singing not only about hunting Indians, but calling them the equivalent of the N-word for natives. But one's fine and one's the other, and it shows you the woke culture really cares about trying to make themselves look good, not about being equal.
Like we got Wilson and the Charlie X, one of the transporter guy. Lieutenant Charlene Masters, who it's one of the first ones to go with her natural hair. She's right in the corner there. Let's see, Commodore Stone, Lieutenant Boma, Don Marshall, who was also in that episode of the Lieutenant that got him in trouble. No, I wouldn't say she's black. I think she was more Asian. Engineer Lieutenant Shea. A nurse and returning tomorrow, Dr. Mbenga, who was only dragged on to Strange New World because, hey, we need a black guy in there. That money had no business being on the ship at that time.
Yeah.
Like, where's Dr. Boyce? We know he was the doctor. Lieutenant Watkins, security guard Evans, Lana Troyes. And then when I guess she was, okay. But when the Salt Vampire turned into Uhura's crewman and Salt Mantrap, Dr. Daystrom, Blackula himself, William Marshall. One of the kids in the Children Shall Lead. One of the guys killed in the Empath. And Fred Williamson. There's a bit of a stunt casting there. He played one of the troglodytes in Cloudminders.
Interesting.
And a lot of black extras and stuff. And then, of course, Charlie Washburn, who was assistant director throughout the run.
Mm-hmm.
This is the third season cut because she always had bangs in the first two seasons.
Yeah, she did. Check your message in private.
And then going back to this, the first interracial kiss. No, not even close. Okay.
Bob.
Yep. Whoops.
Check the private.
Okay. It's getting late. We need to start wrapping this up, I guess. And Variety wasn't buying it. Review at 68. Shatner most reluctantly smooches Miss Nichols, a beautiful femme, and only because he is compelled to by the villain's evil powers. This neat little compromise acquits Shatner of crossing the line because he has no control over his senses, the scripter is saying in effect. Meanwhile, on episode, it takes a thief, black guy, white guy, black girl, smooch him. So, yeah. It was 6 weeks after Robert Wagner and Denise Nicholas. This is by the time Gene Kuna moved over there. So,
Bob. That's
but
enough.
yeah, we're gonna wrap it up here. So, folks,
Stay out of trouble.
how many we got on each one here? We got 5
Unless you
people.
videotape it so I can use it against you. Stay out of trouble.
Yeah, I'm old school. Nothing's on video. Okay. We'll talk at you later, kids.
That could always be fixed.
Laters.